beaten to silence about our mental health issues. Maybe you had bipolar disorder and you were going through mania or schizophrenia, or you were having post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms. They would just beat you.
The stigma in the Black community when it comes to mental illness dates back to slavery. It made us become silent, so I figure that's where a lot of the stigma started, of us not being able to speak up about our mental health issues. A lot of the Black community feels that mental illness is the ultimate weakness. I've heard that you're weak, or it's just in your head, you're supposed to be stronger than that. It's just a white man's disease. I've heard all this stuff growing up. And the Black church also has a lot to do with it, because church is a very big thing in the Black community. You're hearing, pastors say that that's just a demon, you're just supposed to pray, and you don't need to see professional help. And I feel like the Black church really needs to come to the realization that this is an illness. We're not telling everyone to pray away other diseases, so why are we telling everyone to pray away mental illness? So my pastor is great, because as I figure, he doesn't know everything that there is to know about mental illness, but he's open to learning more. I remember the time when I tried to take my life, and I asked him to pray for me and everything, and that I was thinking about going to get some professional help as well. He didn't tell me that I shouldn't go and see a therapist. He didn't tell me it was wrong, that I don't believe in God enough. He was like, if you need to go, go. Pastors like him are setting the example in the Black church that, yes, you can pray, but you can also see a therapist too. That's how it should be.
When Jasmin came and talked to me about it, and I felt like God trusted her with so much, and it just overwhelmed her, and she just needed somebody to come and coach her along. And I was privileged enough to do that. She has helped me more than she knows. It gives me more reason to fight, not just for her, but for other people, because I probably was one of those naive pastors, because I preached to depression, but I didn't really pay attention to it. It made me sit back and say, you know what? I need to be educated on this. I just can't preach to it.
By me telling my story and just being so open to share my story with the church, it's gotten other people in the church talking about their mental health, because I remember there's been times that some of my church members have come up to me and said, I'm going through this too, and thank you so much for speaking up, because I wasn't able to speak up.
I've asked our officers to get with Jasmin about developing not only just a workshop that will enlighten the entire church, but also train the leaders of the church.
What am I doing to make sure the Black community has more mental health resources? I created an app called The Safe Place.
I had an idea to create an app for the Black community. It took me about 4 months to actually put the app together. The app was accepted to both Android and iPhone. Within the app, there's Black mental health statistics, there's self-care tips, there's mental illness descriptions, there's self-assessment questions, there's videos, there's articles, and we also have a group forum where the Black community can go and find mental health professionals. There's nonprofit resources, and I'm also collecting information from Black therapists around the United States, so it'll make it easier for the Black community to find somebody in their area.
I think the app that Jasmin created called Safe Place for the Black community is very, very powerful, simply because it gives a platform and gives them a voice, it gives them instruction. I know a lot of people have downloaded it right here in the church. I remember when we got up and talked about it, I downloaded it. That app has been a blessing to many, and I believe it'll be a blessing even more.
So this is Palmer Park. I've been coming here for years. I can actually tell you a story about this tree that I'm sitting on. So the first time I sat on this tree was not a good time. The first time I sat on this tree was on the other side, and this is where I came to overdose, and nobody was here. I just came here. I was feeling very down. I didn't want to live anymore. I was 20 years old. So every time that I come back to this tree now, it's a reminder of how far I've come. The depressed young woman who was 20 years old and wanted to die and came here to kill herself, and then now sitting on the other side of this tree, and it's like I've made a complete turnaround. I'm now, talking about mental health. I'm okay about seeing help if I need to go see help. It's like I've made a complete turnaround. So now I can look at this tree and say, look how far I've come.